Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to speak with you today. Today, we'll be exploring the topic of quality management system, specifically Part III. This is the first slide of our presentation, and I want to briefly introduce what we'll be covering. We'll look into the key aspects of quality management, its importance, and how it can be effectively implemented. So, without further delay, let's get started. So in this slide, I want to focus on that part of quality assurance, or QA, which is all about making sure that products are consistently produced and controlled. This is crucial because it ensures that every batch of a product meets the same high standards. We achieve this through setting and adhering to clear quality standards and obtaining proper marketing authorization. These are key because they serve as official guarantees that the product is safe and effective for consumers. The main goal here is to diminish risks that we cannot simply eliminate through testing alone. For example, contamination or cross-contamination can sometimes occur despite testing, and that's where good manufacturing practices, or GMP, come into play. GMP helps us prevent issues like mix-ups or confusion during production, which could compromise product quality. Ultimately, all these elements, quality standards, marketing authorization, GMP, are interconnected. They work together to create a robust framework that minimizes risks and ensures that the products reaching consumers are safe, effective, and of consistent quality. This is essential for maintaining trust and compliance within the pharmaceutical industry. Let's talk about the importance of having clearly defined and systematically reviewed processes in our operations. This means that every step we take is carefully outlined and regularly checked to ensure consistency and quality. Qualification and validation are also critical. They ensure that our processes, equipment, and systems perform as intended, giving us confidence in the safety and efficacy of our products. To support all these processes, we need to provide the right resources. That includes qualified and trained personnel who understand their roles and responsibilities. It also involves having suitable premises, adequate space, and the right equipment and services to carry out tasks effectively. Materials, containers, and labels must meet specific standards to prevent contamination or mix-ups. Procedures related to storage and transport are essential to maintain product integrity from start to finish. Laboratories and in-process controls are vital for monitoring quality throughout production, catching issues early before products reach the market. All of these elements align with the basic requirements of good manufacturing practice, or GMP, which is the foundation for ensuring our products are safe, effective, and of high quality. By systematically reviewing and properly resourcing our operations, we uphold the integrity of our processes and protect consumer health. Let's talk about some of the fundamental aspects of good manufacturing practice, or GMP. First, having clear, written instructions and procedures is essential. These ensure that everyone knows exactly what steps to follow, which helps maintain consistency and quality throughout the manufacturing process. Next, trained operators are crucial. Proper training ensures that staff understand the procedures and can perform their tasks correctly, reducing errors and improving safety. Keeping records of actions, deviations, and investigations is another key point. These records are vital for traceability, accountability, and identifying areas for improvement. They help us understand what happened if issues arise and how to prevent them in the future. Similarly, maintaining records for manufacturing and distribution is important. This documentation supports compliance and helps verify that products meet quality standards at every stage. Proper storage and distribution practices are also fundamental. They protect the product's integrity, ensuring it remains safe and effective until it reaches the customer. We also need systems in place for handling complaints and recalls. Having a structured approach allows us to quickly address any problems, safeguard public health, and maintain trust. All of these elements are part of the basic requirements of GMP, which form the backbone of quality assurance in pharmaceutical manufacturing. When we implement these practices thoroughly, we create a reliable system that consistently produces safe, high-quality products. Let's take a closer look at some of the issues we face in this area. First, the Quality Management Manual isn't established in writing, which can lead to inconsistencies and confusion. Limited human resources is another challenge, making it harder to maintain high standards consistently. Additionally, there's a lack of qualified people, which impacts the overall quality and compliance. Processes are not properly validated, increasing the risk of errors and nonconformance. We also see poor SOPs or standard batch documentation, which can lead to mistakes during production. Another critical point is that sometimes more consideration is given to cost than to quality, which can compromise product safety and efficacy. Family members in key positions of authority can also pose a conflict of interest and affect objectivity. Lastly, there's a need to reinforce the basic requirements of good manufacturing practices, or GMP, to ensure we are meeting essential quality standards. All these issues highlight areas where we need improvement to align better with regulatory expectations and strengthen our overall quality system. Now, let's turn our attention to some additional issues that can seriously impact our quality management. First, we often see substandard materials being deliberately purchased, which undermines the entire process. When the technical staff isn't involved in the purchasing decisions, it increases the risk of acquiring poor quality materials and makes it harder to enforce standards. Another challenge is the inability to re-export substandard materials, which means we can't discard or return defective products easily, leading to potential compliance issues. Sometimes, owners insist on selling rejects, despite knowing they don't meet quality standards, which can damage our reputation and regulatory standing. Corruption is also a concern, as it can influence procurement and quality control processes, ultimately compromising the integrity of our operations. Additionally, there's often a lack of commitment to training, leaving staff ill-prepared to uphold good manufacturing practices. Speaking of GMP, neglecting its basic requirements can lead to serious quality lapses. All these issues highlight the importance of strong oversight, integrity, and adherence to standards across every stage of production. Addressing these challenges is essential to maintain the quality and compliance that our organization strives for. Current Good Manufacturing Practices, or CGMP, are the regulatory standards that guide how pharmaceutical products are made and controlled. The main goal is to ensure that every product is consistently produced to meet high-quality standards. When we talk about importance, the first point is that CGMP helps guarantee the safety, quality, and efficacy of the medicines we rely on. It's about making sure that patients get products that are safe and work as intended. Additionally, CGMP plays a critical role in preventing contamination, mix-ups, and errors during manufacturing. This reduces risks and ensures the integrity of the products. Another key aspect is that following CGMP is mandatory if a company wants to get regulatory approval and market authorization for their products. Without compliance, it's almost impossible to bring a product to market legally. Finally, CGMP supports the prevention of non-sterile quality, NSQ, products, which is essential for maintaining trust and safety in the pharmaceutical industry. Overall, these practices are at the heart of producing reliable, safe medicines that meet both regulatory and patient expectations, tying directly into the broader theme of quality assurance in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Now, let's talk about the key principles of CGMP that ensure we produce high-quality, safe products. First, proper facility and equipment design are essential because they create a controlled environment that minimizes contamination and errors. Next, having qualified and trained personnel is critical. Our staff need to understand and follow these principles consistently. Validated manufacturing processes come into play here, ensuring that our methods are reliable and reproducible every time. Documentation and data integrity are also fundamental. Accurate records help us trace everything and maintain compliance. Raw material and supplier quality control are vital because the quality of inputs directly impacts the final product. We need strong quality control and quality assurance systems to monitor and verify that all processes meet strict standards. Change control and deviation management are equally important. They help us handle any unexpected issues systematically and prevent potential risks. Altogether, these principles form the backbone of CGMP, ensuring that every step of manufacturing aligns with the goal of delivering safe, effective, and high-quality products to patients. This comprehensive approach is what allows us to maintain trust and compliance in this industry. Let's take a closer look at the regulatory comparison between the WHO, US FDA, and EU GMP standards. As we've seen throughout this presentation, understanding these differences is crucial for ensuring compliance and successful market entry. The WHO guidelines serve as a global benchmark, providing a harmonized approach that many countries adopt or adapt. The US FDA, on the other hand, has very specific and detailed requirements tailored to the US market, emphasizing strict quality control and documentation. Meanwhile, the EU GMP standards focus on harmonization across European countries, with a strong emphasis on risk-based approaches and continuous improvement. Recognizing these key differences helps us tailor our processes and ensure that we're meeting the necessary standards wherever we operate. Ultimately, each regulatory body plays a vital role in safeguarding public health, and aligning with their expectations is essential for our success in the global pharmaceutical landscape. Let's take a closer look at the regulatory comparison between the WHO, US FDA, and EU GMP standards. These organizations set the benchmarks for pharmaceutical quality and safety, but each has its unique approach and focus. The WHO, for example, provides international guidelines primarily aimed at ensuring safety in developing countries and facilitating global trade. The US FDA, on the other hand, is known for its rigorous standards and strict enforcement, often setting the tone for global industry practices. Meanwhile, the EU GMP guidelines are comprehensive and emphasize a harmonized approach across member states, promoting consistency and high-quality manufacturing practices throughout Europe. Understanding these differences helps us see how global compliance is achieved and the importance of aligning with multiple standards to ensure market access and product safety everywhere. This comparison underscores the overall theme of our presentation: the critical role of harmonized quality systems in advancing pharmaceutical development and manufacturing worldwide. Now, let's take a closer look at the regulatory comparison between WHO GMP, EU GMP, and US FDA CGMP. First, WHO GMP acts as a foundational or minimum global standard. It's often adopted by countries that are building or strengthening their regulatory frameworks. One of the key strengths of WHO GMP is its flexibility and guidance-oriented approach, making it adaptable across different regions and levels of development. Moving on to EU GMP, this standard is more risk-based and life cycle-oriented. It places a strong emphasis on integrating quality management throughout a product's life cycle, ensuring continuous improvement. Additionally, EU GMP aligns closely with ICH quality guidelines, which helps maintain consistency across international borders. Then, we have US FDA CGMP, which is known for being the most stringent and enforcement-focused. The FDA emphasizes critical areas like data integrity, documentation controls, and process validation. Inspection compliance is also a major focus, reflecting their rigorous approach to protecting public health. When comparing these standards, it's clear that each has its unique strengths. WHO GMP provides a flexible foundation. EU GMP emphasizes risk management and continuous quality improvement, and US FDA CGMP enforces strict compliance to ensure the highest level of pharmaceutical quality. Understanding these differences is essential as we navigate global compliance requirements and aim to meet the highest standards for quality and safety. For further support, please don't hesitate to contact us. We're here to help with any questions or needs you might have. And with that, I want to thank you all sincerely for your time and attention today. Your engagement is truly appreciated, and I hope you found the presentation valuable. Remember, we're available to assist you beyond this session, so reach out whenever you need. Thanks again, and have a great day.